Hello, this is the Thursday, February 25th meeting of the Cable Access Committee. As a preliminary matter, please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you. Take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by recording. This is Patricia Anderson. Permit me to confirm all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me prior to me calling the meeting to order. Members, when I call your name, please respond in affirmative. Roger Bradley.
Aye.
Staff, when I call your name, please respond in affirmative. Brittany Blaney.
Here.
With a quorum of board present, I call this meeting to order at 6:14 on February 25th, 2021. This is an open meeting of Cable Access Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of December 17th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of COVID-19 virus. Specific information and general guidelines for the remote participation of members of the public and or parties with the right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found at the Town of Berlin website at www.townofberlin.com. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in public accessible physical location. Further, all members of the public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, provided reasonable access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. While no in-person attendance of members of the public is permitted, every effort will be made to ensure the public can adequately access the process in real time via the technological means. In the event that we are not able to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the town's website an audio, video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Ensure public access to not ensure public participation. Public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. The standard public comment portion of this meeting will accommodate limited public comment. For this meeting, the Berlin Cable Access is convening using Zoom platform as posted on the agenda, identifying how the public may join. The end. What? Nope. First crow. Trying to keep two things up at the same time. So I will read the minutes from the last meeting and we can approve them. This is February, right? So the last meeting was January 28th. Attendees were Roger Bradley, Patricia Anderson, and Brittany Blaney. The Cultural Council sponsors an orchestra. We did not get an email from them to ask for that. Sorry. Fact sheet about cable access. We give Facebook an uplift. We talked about Brittany's updates. Meetings being recorded. The COA has a yoga class editing 4 episodes.
I think I had edited 4 episodes
You had
up
edited.
into that point. Now we've done 8.
Okay.
So I'm on track.
Okay, Brittany was okay. Twinkle Tour had 255 views. Oh no, not talking to me. Brittany talked to basketball athletic director for assistance to record some games because they had requested maybe possibly getting recordings. Recording all town meetings. I don't know why I said that again. Vendor for cameras, no response. No use right for the person to help produce. What?
Say that again?
I don't understand that. Guess I was taking funny notes. No use right for the person to help produce. Oh, no use for the, you don't have a use for the person. That's what I was saying.
Oh,
No real
gotcha.
use for the person to help produce at this time. No, how about no need? person to help produce at this time. All right. Any other changes? Calling once, calling twice?
No.
Do we approve of the minutes as read or as changed now?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as read and corrected.
All right, and I second it, so I will upload those into my town government. Let me start a new one. All right, any new information today? Did you get your pay for the last month?
Not yet, but I'm sure it'll come whenever. I'm not in a rush,
Hopefully they got it.
obviously.
Hopefully they got it.
Yeah, I'll let
Yeah.
you know if I don't.
I never really get a confirmation back. So,
I'll let you know if it doesn't show up.
all right, how long does it usually take?
Usually like at least 2 weeks.
Okay.
There's not anything majorly different from last month aside from we ran out of space on our server hard drive. Yeah. So what I've been doing is converting Mpeg files to Mpeg 4 files, which saves us a lot of space. So Mpeg files are kind of older video files, like sort of what we used to use. And it is the format that the server automatically records to. So like when we record town meeting, that gets recorded in Mpeg. And when those town meetings are, say, 4 or 6 or 8 hours long in this older file format, the files are enormous. So I've been converting those into Mpeg 4, which is going to save us some space. Eventually, we'll get to sort of a crossroads when everything is Mpeg 4, and we'll have to make a decision if we want to either add space to the server, if that's an option, or upgrade the server, or potentially remove older meetings that we're not going to broadcast. So
yes, we should have like an archival kind of place that
we do have a backup of the server. So those files are backed up, and we could probably back that up in an additional server. And I think
do you know if there's anything in our like license or anything of how far back or whatever we actually have to keep meetings?
We don't have to keep them at all. We have no obligation to, because the recording of meetings is not the official record. The minutes are.
Okay.
So we keep them as a courtesy. And I would say sort of YouTube is also kind of a backup. At least within the last few years, all those videos are on there from recent years. So my recommendation, I mean, we don't need to make any decisions right now, but my recommendation would be to, when push comes to shove, to remove some of those older meetings that we're not going to broadcast off the server to free up space. Keep them still like in backup form, because storage is ridiculously cheap right now, so it wouldn't cost much to buy a couple extra external hard drives and just throw those older meetings on there and have them archived.
Right. And you could even like warn, I don't know who you would tell, like Eloise or I don't know, Roger, who do you think we could just say, hey, this is what's happening, so we can't really keep it all.
Well, it wouldn't really, like, if we were keeping them archived on another external drive, it wouldn't really change anything. I mean, because it's not like they have access to our server anyways, so it would just be on a different hard drive, basically.
Yeah, I
unless
mean, I just don't see why we'd have to even keep. I mean, how far back are you talking about?
I'd have to look. I mean, since you started recording meetings and using that server, I can hop on the machine and look.
Yeah, what would be the purpose of saving the older meetings?
To have something to look back on, but I haven't received any meeting requests. I mean, I know people watch our meetings on, the different meetings on YouTube. How many of those people are watching them to watch them or are going back and like saying, what did that person say on that date? I don't know, but we definitely haven't had requests um, for older meetings or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that there's got to be a certain point at which you just don't have to keep them, anyways. I mean, I can just hear like somebody in town being like, "Oh no, what did you do?"
Right. If you ask people if we can delete them, they're going to say no.
Brittany didn't see that.
What?
You got to watch. Somebody in town might ask, "What did you do?"
That somebody. Okay, I gotcha. Let me see how far back these meetings go. Looks like the early, no, that can't be right. When did you get this server? Like maybe 2008 are the oldest meetings that are here.
My God, I wouldn't think we need anything older than a year.
Yeah, in my experience, as far as like when people request meetings, not from Berlin per se, but just in general for public access channels, I have had people ask about annual meetings a few years back, but regular committee meetings, it's usually within the last year as far as like requests for meeting, whatever. And I could we can upload these meetings to YouTube too to have an additional backup.
I mean, I don't know about you, Roger, but I would propose that it certainly wouldn't go back, and would not want to have you spend your time actually doing something like that when I don't think we
Spending
really
the money
need
on
to.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, like thinking about it, maybe it makes sense is at least converting the MPEGs to MPEG 4s. It would probably it makes sense to do it on the programs that we are going to re-air, like historical society stuff that was done 10 years ago or whatever. But for the meetings, I don't think it's probably not worth my time. So
Yeah.
we could just archive those, put them on another external.
Yes.
Okay.
If that's the
I think
quickest.
that's going to take less time. It's going to be less cost, and like doesn't really make sense to make them into MPEGs because no one's asking for them.
Right. And if they do, then that's when you can.
Yeah, then we can deal with it at the time. But yeah, I think probably it just makes sense to just move the oldest meetings elsewhere because we're not airing them anyways.
Right. And I think we can actually even lose a few.
Accidentally lose them.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was the big news is the server was running out of space. But otherwise, we did get a request from the Council on Aging. They were wanting to play some AARP show in like May or something. And they were asking like what day and time I could play it. And I was like, just name it.
Oh, we have a busy schedule.
Yeah, I was just like, let me know when you want it to air and we will air it. I will say now that like the Council on Aging is doing a little more programming, like they have the yoga and stuff. Traditionally, we just broadcast on one channel, and the second channel is just a bulletin board. And previously, I think that made sense because we didn't cover a lot of meetings, and our other programming wasn't like, we didn't have a ton. But right now, with how many meetings we have, really the schedule's pretty packed, and it's mostly packed with meetings. I'd like to entertain or, have a discussion about potentially putting meetings on their own channel, and then having the public channel be airing stuff of interest, like Council on Aging stuff and previous, public stuff that we've done. Because really, as far as bulletin submissions go, they're pretty, far and few between.
Yeah, people aren't really watching that anyways, right?
I don't think so. I mean, with the different forms of communication, the bulletin board is kind of a old school way of doing it. That's not to say we don't get occasional requests, but it's definitely not even a weekly thing. Like maybe we get one request a month or something,
Look, is there some other way that we can kind of post the schedule? Like should we put it on, what would be a good, like, Facebook or something, or
we could do like a skeleton schedule, but the way that the server is set up right now with no internet access, like the server's not connected to the internet, we can't post like the real-time schedule. It doesn't. I could probably export it and find some way to do it, but it has built in this like RSS feed that automatically would like send the current schedule to, a website or whatever like that. But because it's not connected to the internet, it can't do that.
oh yeah, we talked about that a long time ago, right? Connecting
Yeah.
and getting.
But I could put out, I can easily put out a skeleton schedule where it says, every morning at 8 a.m. we play the yoga class, and, every Tuesday
Right.
at 2 o'clock we play a gardening program,
Yeah.
could do something like that. And I could also do some programming well in advance where I could sort of put something out, a few key shows, like, Friday night we're going to play, whatever, some concert that was at, the town hall or something, I could do
Right.
something
Well,
along those lines.
you had that general schedule too, right? The ones where you would say Monday was
Right. Well,
meetings
that kind of
and
got
that's
that got thrown out. That got thrown out with COVID just because there's so many meetings now.
meetings.
Like it can't even, and the meetings are so frequently. Like I try to play the most recent meeting. So what I've been doing is playing meetings throughout the day and have the meetings end at 7 o'clock, and then like after 7, I've been playing like public stuff. But the meetings, sometimes there's 3, 4, 5 meetings a day, and so that schedule changes every single day. And like
Oh,
sometimes the meetings might only air like twice before they get bumped off the schedule because there's new meetings coming in.
right. And that depends upon the length of which
Right.
of the meeting is, how quickly you
right.
can actually get them up there too. So you
Yeah.
can't. It's
So
hard to-
like doing all of that on one channel has sort of been like a challenge. And we have the capability to broadcast programs on both channels. The server's capable of it. We're set up for it. All I have to do is just start programming it.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I like that.
Okay.
Since the COA is getting more involved, we definitely want to keep them happy and keep getting things from them and putting things out there, because that's for cable, probably that's the people that are watching that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the demographic that is actually watching, TV. Okay. Yeah, that'll make, for me, programming a little less stressful. I like kind of stress out about how frequently the changeover is with the meetings and how little we're like putting on other stuff. But it's like the meetings just keep coming.
Yeah. So that was that. Speaking of which, that's another thing when we emailed about your pay or your your last billing, we had said that your hours probably were getting pretty high and that we need to check. Sorry, I couldn't find your contract.
I couldn't
I
find it
couldn't,
on my computer either, which was
I
like,
think it might be at the station
okay, I can take a look.
in a folder, hopefully.
Okay, I'll take a look. It probably is. Okay.
But I'm having a hard time talking tonight too. Yeah. Oh.
Well, we won't keep you. I think that was it for me. I don't know, Roger, if you had anything.
Oh, I haven't heard anything or seen anything,
Oh. Oh, Roger.
No one's harassed you looking for anything?
no one's been calling me saying, I usually watch this program on Friday nights and it wasn't on.
Oh, did they
But-
ever call you?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, sometimes they'd be like looking for a meeting or something and he would be directing them on the YouTube channel. But our YouTube channel is public now, so people can search for stuff and they can find it on their own. And I think that's relieved some of that,
Yeah.
some of those calls and emails to Roger. Poor Roger. They found out you were on the committee and that was that.
So, do you have a phone anymore, Roger?
Just
your
my
cell
cell
phone?
phone.
Yeah, me too, because Deb Ralph was looking for us, like, she said, I called both your numbers and neither of them or mine was she was telling some strange something and yours not working. And I'm like, yeah, sorry. We got rid of our phone and I guess Roger did too.
Oh
Yeah.
boy. Yeah,
So,
we've never actually had a.
You never had one?
Mm-mm.
even in Boylston?
But we bought the house in 2008. We both had cell phones and good coverage.
I think my daughter has a phone and she has no idea what the phone number is. And I don't even think she has a phone connected to it.
I know, and the cable company, they're like, you can get a phone at no additional cost, like it's free.
But what?
No, thank you. Right.
No, because it'll just be like telemarketers and stuff, right?
Exactly.
Like no,
That's all it's for.
Yep,
Right.
telemarketing and political ads.
Right. Or an older neighbor across the street who still uses the same phone number.
Okay, so I guess that's it for us.
All right. Sorry, I'm just still taking notes.
No worries. Roger, you gotta make a motion.
I make a motion that we end the meeting.
I second the motion that we end the meeting. And the meeting will be adjourned at 6:37.